Welcome to WSU 101 Sustainability. This week we are going to focus on ecology and nature. This week we'll have a chance to understand the ecology, which cover the population, resources, carrying capacity, and humans. We will also analyze climate change, greenhouse gases, and the carbon cycle. Last but not least, we will learn about the biodiversity in Malaysia. You are expected to complete 2 tasks in open learning and 1 task in Mirable. Start looking for the gas sensors to study the air pollution quality. We will help you to order. Remember to adhere to moral and ethical values when you work in a group. An ecosystem is a bubble of life that includes interactive living organisms, weather, and landscape. Biotic factors involve the living organisms, while abiotic factors include soil, temperature, and humidity. They are interactive as they depend on each other. For example, a change in temperature can affect the plant growth. Same thing, the growth of the plant can affect the temperature as well. Ecosystem can be small or big. In a tide pool, algae becomes the food of herbivores such as abalone, while sea stars, a carnivore, eats clams or mussels. Our Earth consists of connected various ecosystems. However, our population has grown drastically and we take over many ecosystems. We build houses, farms, factories, and many other facilities. Other animals were endangered due to the loss of their habitat. Even worse, the Industrial Revolution causes climate change and pollution. There are limited resources for other living organisms to survive. A sustainable habitat is required to maintain a balanced ecosystem. A balanced ecosystem exhibits resourceful energy and material cycling. In the food web, organisms are categorized in different trophic levels, namely producers at the first level, consumer at the subsequent levels, and decomposers at the last trophic level. Those photosynthetic plants are producers, while bacteria are the decomposer. Population in an ecology is biotically and abiotically affected by other factors. The balance is severely by human activities. Our fertilizers causes eutrophication or algae bloom. At the same time, we endanger many animals, including the Easter bunny, riverine rabbits. They live in South Africa, and the population size was once dropped to 200 only due to the loss of habitat to farming activities. Our main resources, such as food, water, and shelter, are provided by an ecosystem. In the food chains, energy flows from the sun to different organisms in an ecosystem. Primary consumers are herbivores, while secondary consumers are carnivores. Tertiary carnivores are herbivores. In the hydrological cycles, we get clean water on and below the surface of the earth. We build shelter to protect ourselves. Spend 50 minutes to watch the videos recommended on this slide. Spend 20 minutes on my BIS website and learn on the endangered species in Malaysia. Then go to Open Learning and post the endangered species State your possible efforts to save them. Carrying capacity is defined as the average popular size of a species in an habitat. The continued growth of population is unsustainable. They may cause the ecological footprint to exceed the carrying capacity of a planet unless we reduce our ecological footprint. Ecological footprint is the biological productive land and sea areas required to supply renewable resources for a population as well as to absorb the waste. Flodrich stated that we need to reduce 10% of our resources consumption to reach sustainability. This chart shows the dependence of humanity on the services from ecosystem. The provisioning, regulation, and cultural services determine our well-being in terms of security, basic needs, health, and social relationship. Poverty is a bad sign of our well-being. In addition, we need freedoms and choices to maintain our well-being. Take 15 minutes to brainstorm strategies to end poverty in Mirrorbot. Don't forget to put your names and student ID on the sticky notes with your strategy. I have placed my sticky notes. I suggest that we should create more job opportunity to reduce the poverty. This is a chart showing the change of our climate. Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, who was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007, created this chart. IPCC formed in 1988 under UN Environment Programme and the World Meteorological Organization. IPCC reported on climate change since 1990. Do you know how temperature was measured to prove climate change? We use weather stations, biological proxies such as thickness of annual rings of trees and annual layers of coral reef. We also use geological proxies such as lake sediments, fossil, ocean sediments, ice cores, and oxygen or hydrogen isotopes amount. Greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, ozone, and nitrous oxide can absorb infrared radiation from the sun, water vapor also, but its cycle is short. In Malaysia, we have biogas plants to trap methane from the treatment of palm oil mill effluent. Don't forget that the excess nitrate fertilizer in water body can emit nitrous oxide with 300 times global warming effects than carbon dioxide. This chart shows the concentration of carbon dioxide in the air. It has increased greatly as shown by the ice core records. This is our carbon cycle, which is affected by human activities. The red number showing the carbon released from human activities. The blue number is actually the carbon stored, and the green arrow showing the flux of carbon. 30% of carbon dioxide emitted by humans diffuses into ocean via the direct chemical exchange. Ocean pH dropped by 0.1, and this ocean acidification resulted in thinner shelf. Warmer oceans reduces phytoplankton as well. 25% of carbon dioxide emitted by humans is absorbed by plants. Carbon fertilization promotes plant growth. However, higher temperature result in more water required for the plant to survive. Biodiversity describes the biological diversity of gene, species, and ecosystems. An ecosystem with great biodiversity is more stable and resilient. Population extinction can be caused by genetic drift, environmental changes, and natural disasters. One species out of 1 million goes extinct every year. In the history of the Earth, 5 mass extinctions happened before. The famous one is KT extinction that kills 80% of animals, including dinosaurs, possibly due to a meteor struck near Yucatan Peninsula. 6 massive extinction is caused by us. About 50% of known species will extinct by the year of 2100 due to habitat destruction, pollution, over-exploitations, climate change, and growing human population. Read more about the ban of pesticide DDT to save brown pelican. This is the last and the most fun activity for you during this week. Take a 30-minute trip in the campus or around your house. Share a list of photos of insects, birds, or any other animals available around you in open learning. That's all for today. Thank you for joining our classes.